What is up, GSA? I am Paperario, one of your commentators for this next match coming up. We just got off watching a very exciting race between Guy and SB Electric, and now we're here for another good race between Weegee and EquivocalGenius. I am joined by the one and only Katsena.
Hello.
And yeah, I think the runners are just setting up a little bit. Weegee's loading up his gecko. Genius is on the file select screen, and we should be starting somewhat soon.
Yes, this should be a good match. This is a Group B match between Weegee and EquivocalGenius, as you can see. Currently, Genius sits in third in the Group B point standings with 39 points and 2 matches completed. Weegee is in fourth with 18 points and 1 match completed. Whoever wins this match will automatically go to second place in the point standings, which puts them in contention to make it past the group stage.
Yeah, there's still quite a few matches to be played in this group, so it's not entirely sure who's going to be moving on quite yet.
For EquivocalGenius, it would be more difficult than it would be for Weegee because he already has 2 matches completed.
Yeah, Genius already took 2 L's, right? Yeah.
Yes. This could be a good opportunity for Weegee.
But yeah, if you don't know anything about these guys, Weegee, one of the big come-ups in this game. He recently got a 114.53, I think, a couple months back, so he's doing work. He hasn't played a lot of SMS recently, but that's fine. He's still, got, I think, a 118 in the race against me a couple days ago, so he's definitely not playing bad right now. Katsuna, you want to tell us about Genius?
Genius is one of the newer runners, as the timer is now started. He's one of the newer runners in the current any% meta. He first came onto the scene in January of this year. He surprised all of us by getting to a 117 level in just about 3 months. And here he is competing against the best in the game in a GSA Super Mario Sunshine any% tournament.
Yeah, it's exciting. Genius improved at a really fast rate. Like, there were a lot of runners that just came up really fast. And, he's one of them. Like, he is able to compete with the rest of us. He only came a minute off, I think, both myself and J Cool in his past 2 races. So he's had a good showing this tournament.
Yes, he's had a couple very good performances thus far in this tournament. He's looking to have another one today.
But yeah, if you don't know anything about Sunshine, which I don't know what you're doing here then, but there's a pretty long intro, so we're just gonna keep talking about these runners, I guess. Or Katsuna might tell me about his day. I don't really know. But yeah, first bits of movement here. Weegee, known for his good airstrips. Oh, that was pretty nice sync.
Yeah, we'll see how these two playstyles sort of contrast with each other. Weegee, of course, is known for being a very advanced player. He goes for some of the fastest strats out of anybody in the game. He consequentially is known for his very rigorous reset heavy sort of playstyle. We'll see how he sort of balances out those strategies in his muscle memory with knowing that he has to put together a race here with minimizing time losses. And EquivocalGenius, being a new player, he, of course, goes for sort of easier strats. And that's actually fared quite well for him in a couple of the past matches. We'll see if he could capitalize on Weegee's mistakes here, because if you guys remember, during Weegee's last match, he did encounter some trouble in the secret stages. He had a few deaths there. He had a death in Corona. Perhaps, with some consistency, Equivocal could capitalize on that and score an upset victory today.
Yeah, there's kind of like 2 big distinct playstyles we've seen in this tournament. So we got like the very highly optimized or like hard strat people. So there's like Weegee, Fetch. Trying to think of another couple people.
Even J Cool goes for very advanced strats.
J Cool's up there. But then there's also this like really consistent side of the game. There's like me, SB, Genius, Samu. We all can put out decent times, pretty consistently. So it's always interesting to see how these matchups work. We're usually gonna see like Weegee ahead in the early game, but you know, Genius might pull it back later if, you know, Weegee makes some mistakes or something. You know, anything can happen. We're playing Sunshine 90%.
Yes, we definitely have Genius probably looking more towards the long run here as this run progresses. Of course, there is a very long run ahead of us here. A lot of gameplay, a lot of heavy movement, a lot of RNG. We'll see how these two players can balance this one out. Airstrip is over. We're on to the second, the longer of the two intro cutscenes.
You know, normally this is where we talk about a bingo card, but that's not what we're playing, unfortunately. So we'll just have to deal with.
The intro does serve sort of a similar purpose here in these races. This is a good time for the players to sort of take a deep breath, sort of eye their challenge here, figure out what they want out of this race, clear their mind.
You gotta size up the competition. You gotta be like,
You really do. I think what Weegee probably wants out of this race is a rebound in the points. He had a sort of a disappointing showing in his last race. Unfortunately, had a lot of deaths that sort of weighed down his time. What he's looking for here is a victory against Genius so that he could sort of secure his position at the top two of his group. He does have a race ahead of him.
Yeah, Weegee is in kind of a rough spot because if he wants to make bracket, he needs to take 2 W's in order to make bracket. Like that's kind of for certain. Yes. But he has to take them pretty convincingly because he didn't get a lot of points in the race versus me. So if J Cool and I is like relatively close, and you know one of us gets a lot of points, then he might have some struggles, even if he goes 2-1. So
yes, it is a road ahead of him, but this is where it starts if he wants to make it happen. Genius, on the other hand, he already has 2 losses behind him, obviously. I think what he's mostly looking for here is he's new to the scene. He's coming against a guy with a 114, second ranked in the world in Sunshine 90% right now. He wants to say that he's beaten Weegee in a GSA 90% tournament race.
Yeah, dude, it would be a huge upset if Genius could pull it off. You know, we'll have to see. I won't count Genius out. Like he just did a run and he didn't have a great run just now, but you know he got all the bad energy out of the way, and now he's gonna kick some butt, hopefully.
I do believe Genius has momentum on his side. Just yesterday he scored a new PB of 117.29.
I do remember this too. Yeah, there have been a lot of PBs recently in this tournament. I got a PB, SB got a PB, Guy got a PB right before the tournament started. Are there many others?
There probably are others. We've been making a lot of progress in Sunshine in 2019 thus far.
I think Quan might have got a PB. Oat got a PB. I think Oat did.
Oatflaker.
But these are all people in Group C, or most of them, or some of them are in Group C and D, which will be coming up in the next week. So that is exciting matches to look forward to coming up. Intro cutscene almost over. We're gonna actually be getting some gameplay right now, which is always a good sign.
And we're off. Weegee opting for the riskier scumbag movement, and he does take a bonk there, unfortunately. Genius going with the standard movement.
The drop spin adventure begins. We saw Weegee miss a couple last race, and he's starting off this match strong with one while he's trying to go for the scumbag movement. But it's okay. We're only in early game. There's still obviously a lot to do, even in just this part right here.
It does certainly make you nervous. It does affect you psychologically when the first spin of the run is missed.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel about that one, but it's okay. Weegee will rebound.
Yeah, still well over an hour left in this run.
So we have a Shadow Mario fight coming up. Shadow Mario works in kind of an interesting way. If you can spam spray him like almost directly on top of him, you can kill him like almost instantly. So you'll see that in a lot of the fights coming up. This one works a little bit differently than those. We basically jump off of Goop and spray him, so you're gonna see Weegee go for that here, and Genius. Both of them were just off, but you can kill Shadow Mario in that very instance and save about 2 seconds.
Genius had a bit of a slow hover slide at the very start there, sort of set him behind a little bit. Both of them, as you said, missing a quick kill, unfortunately. But that puts them about even as we enter Bianco Hills, the first major stage of the game.
Yep, we saw Genius get early M there. Little small time save. Although Weegee had a very fast entry into the M despite not even getting early M. He did a spam spray dive almost immediately, and he was like slightly closer to the M. So that's cool.
Experience will affect you in the smallest of areas. Oh, Genius, missing the triple jump there.
Ooh, yikes. This is actually a really bad triple jump to mix because not only are you losing time to missing that, but also the spider starts to move in ways that you really don't want it. So that you can see Genius's spider is all the way up on this edge, and we don't even know where it was potentially going to be beforehand. Weegee with some nice wall kicks right there. You can do a little... Ooh, that's unfortunate.
He gets blocked by the wood there on the windmill, unfortunately. A very difficult situation to deal with from Genius when there's a moving spider that you have to react to. He is up there, albeit with a time loss.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I'm not sure what he really could have done there. He probably could have maneuvered himself around that, but he didn't have much hover left at that point because the spider was pretty far from the windmill. So...
Weegee now traversing the first PD fight of the game.
If you stand sideways next to Petey, he'll instantly open his mouth for you, whereas if you just stand kind of in front of him, then he'll take a little while, so... You might not think about it as like a large time save, but it's probably maybe 20 seconds in this fight alone. And it's pretty significant in the next fight too.
Weegee is done with the first PD. He will time his shine grab.
Ooh, that was nice.
That was very nice. Very impressive. Both players doing backflip strats on the sprays. They're a little riskier because it puts you at a bit higher of a chance of getting swung at, which happens when you're slightly out of position. But they're both experienced players. They know what they're doing. They avoid any major time losses in the PD fight.
Yeah, you can see, so if you saw Weegee, he had like an almost instantaneous shine grab. Genius was just like slightly off in his timing, so he, like, the ground pound took a little bit of time to start up, which is why, you know, he didn't immediately grab the shine after the cutscene was over. So that's just Weegee showing some really good timing there. I don't know if there's like a full setup for that, I assume there probably is, but yeah.
Yeah, the more experienced players probably have something figured out. Bianco 3 is a fairly straightforward shine. There is the possibility of doing a hard strat here in the secret coming up. We'll see what Weegee goes for here. It looks like he's opting.
Wow, I was not ready for that.
Me neither. Playing it safe.
Are we watching Weegee? Did JJ come over to his house? This is not right. I mean, I respect the call. Maybe Weegee's trying to play it a little safer, knowing that he doesn't need to take risks like this right now.
Probably has visions of yesterday in mind. But a good showing nonetheless with the safe strats from Weegee. He maintains his lead. He's showing strong here in the very beginning of the run.
So we're opening up Rico right now. Basically, complicated routing things. It saves time to open things when they're immediately openable to you. They're also going to do a small skip right here. You can enter Bianco as the cutscene for opening Rico is playing. So you can kind of overlap the two cutscenes and you skip the movement back. So it saves about 10-ish seconds.
It's fairly simple to pull off.
Yeah, all you need to do is a water slide right there. So that yellow toad was pretty close.
Cutting it close, but still makes it. Fortunately for Weegee.
I didn't get a good look, but it definitely seemed pretty close.
We'll see how Genius fares here. It's a costly time loss, even though it's a simple trick to pull off. Looks like Genius is going to get it here too, as Weegee heads into one of the more movement-intensive shines at the beginning of the run. Bianco 4. Weegee perhaps has some of the most optimized movement in the Shine out of anybody in the current 80% meta.
Yeah, I think Weegee might actually have the IL record on this Shine. And you can really see it. Like, most of Weegee's movements are super precise here. Cuts a lot of corners, you know. Like, that movement was way more optimal than most other top players do that. And he didn't even really do any different, like, movement. Like, he did all the same movements, he just executed the buttons significantly faster than other players do.
Yes, he's very experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's done this Shine hundreds of times.
Yeah, and Weegee getting a 1334. Pretty good.
Genius had a pretty good momentum spin there. Not a bad showing for him on this Shine.
Did Weegee go for the other momentum spin after the 8th coin?
He did. He did, in fact, go for that. Successfully.
That makes a lot. Yeah.
Weegee with the lead here in the early going as we head into the first major RNG Shine of this race.
Not Haspar. Katsena, tell me how many PD patterns there are.
I believe there are 774 PD
774, you say?
Yes, quite a bit, aren't there?
That's quite a lot, but there's only really 2, right? There's perfect and not perfect, right?
Exactly. There's only one perfect pattern. It's very rare, but that's what both of these players are aiming for here. There is one pattern that's only marginally worse, but they don't really want that. They want the perfect one. It's either perfect or it's not. With the current competition in any percent in 2019, you can't really settle for less. A good first position for people on Weegee's screen right now. That sets him up for a few good patterns.
Well, kind of only one pattern.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, PD's complicated, but
774 patterns.
That's not good. If PD ever does that movement where he goes over the building, it's never good. You just never want to see PD do that. That was actually pretty generous of PD going that way, because he can do this weird thing where he goes all the way to the corner spot by the building you see on Weegee's screen, right in front of him.
A decent first position from Genius there. That puts him in position for second best pattern. But Weegee, on the other hand, is holding his breath a little bit to see how this ends up. Genius with a good second pattern as well.
Yeah. Weegee definitely getting some subpar RNG, but it's okay. You know, he had a good early game, so he's still gonna get a pretty decent Bianco leaving time.
Out of 774, perhaps that was better than average.
This is not. Wait, he can do one thing from here. That's actually the better thing. Yeah, that's not a bad pattern from Genius. Definitely better than Weegee's pattern, that's for sure.
Yep. Genius taking what he can out of Weegee's lead here in the early going. These players will head into the Gelato unlock soon. Pretty close race so far, both of them done with PD.
I think we're gonna see some faster Gelato movement from Weegee right here. Yeah, he's gonna go in between these oh, nope, he blocked on the bench. He did the paper, as Katsuna would like to say.
Yes, he unfortunately takes the bonk on the bench there as he heads towards the plant. This plant should go fairly routine. The biggest wild card in this part of the run is a speed conservation technique that they will attempt to pull off after they get the water into this guy's mouth here.
Yeah, you can carry over momentum going into like the rising cutscene of the Gelato Tower, and so they're gonna start a water slide right before the cutscene starts, and they're gonna be slightly closer to the M. Weegee not much closer, but he should just be able to do a spam spray dive and get in.
Yeah, should still be fine. Not optimal, but he basically loses no time.
It's better than waiting a little bit to be able to walk and then do a spam spray jump toward the thing.
Genius with a better dive there.
Yeah, that's good. He just needs to jump spam spray.
Well done by
Weegee spraying
him.
coconuts out of this tree. I'll keep my bias out of here. Ooh, he actually sprayed one of the coconuts there. That coconut was going in a much different path, but because of the water that hit the coconut, it went in a much different way that he did not want.
Weegee going for a much newer GBS strat here where he throws the coconut onto the roof and then aligns himself. Very tough to pull off. I'm impressed.
Genius also got a pretty decent coconut. There's actually a strat where you climb up the tree, which is more consistent and normally faster, but neither player went for it.
Genius unfortunately had a problem holding R there. Didn't get a backflip when he wanted.
Remember, guys, you can hold R to stop and shoot.
You sure can. Or you could use it to grab shines without being intended to, which is what Genius has successfully done there.
Oh yeah, they both did Gelato skip. Basically, we don't like Gelato. It's pretty bad, so we're just gonna not do it.
The R button is a very glitchy button in this game. They will exploit it quite a bit throughout this run. Weegee done with Gelato on a good pace. Has experienced a couple bonks, but overall a solid performance so far.
Yeah, this is also what we were talking about with the spam sprays. You know, they jumped it as Shadow Mario jumped in the air. They jumped in the air and spam sprayed him really close to him, and so all of that water hits Shadow Mario and just instantly kills him.
Those techniques took a long time to popularize. Those didn't start being performed on a run-to-run basis by players until a surprisingly late stage in this game's development. Weegee heading into a shine with minor RNG components to it. It can sort of mess up your movement a little bit, having to go back and forth between chomplets if they get a weird pattern.
Yeah, there's actually only one real important chomplet here. The first two chomplets that are done here, they are not super important unless you're doing this strat that Weegee's going for. But otherwise, it's mainly about just having good execution.
Fairly standard RNG from Weegee here. That is, I believe, the best RNG pattern you can get here. Good execution is one thing. Also looking standard from Genius so far. First two are looking okay. Let's see how this last one fares out. Yes, looks like he also gets good RNG here. Going for a slightly different strat than Weegee did here to get the third choplet into the water. He's waiting behind a wall here and then coming at him, whereas Weegee, sort of understanding the tech of the choplet better, is able to get behind him and sort of maneuver his way to his tail. Minor difference in strategies.
Dang, Weegee had a lot of momentum there.
He did. That was impressive. Bit of an auto-scroller here. Gives the players an opportunity to catch their breath, see where their opponent's at.
Ooh,
Perhaps.
Weegee's gonna show up LPN to Smo.
Yeah.
You know, he's the #1 speedrunner, but Weegee's just gonna take it to him. A 12? Aw, not quite.
Speaking of #1 speedrunner, in 2 days will mark 2 years of Nindede's 1:14:40 specifically holding the 80% world record in Sunshine. May 20th, that will be. Weegee is considered by many to be one of the top contenders in breaking that record.
Oop, Genius setting up goodbye cutscene skip. That doesn't work in this route.
Goodbye cutscene skip is a 20 shine strategy that allows you to skip a couple text boxes.
It's actually one of the tricks we don't really understand that well in this game, because it only works when certain parts of the game are like unlocked, but we have no clue what those parts are. So we kind of just say that, but it's like we really don't know, and you only really know until you test it out on whatever route you're trying to do.
Weegee going for a risky GWKD here on Bianco 3, executes it seamlessly. He will grab the shine here before long.
Yeah, that was very clean.
We'll see what Genius does here. We're expecting standard strats from him. Neither of the players have made any very grave mistakes so far. Of course, Genius probably had the most notable one with the Bianco 2 mishaps. But a lot of the difference between the two players, as for how they're running right now, has been Weegee going for usually more risky strategies, whereas Genius has been sort of playing it safe. We'll see if that plays out in any different ways as we get more into the run. We'll see if that causes Weegee to make any grave mistakes. But so far, Weegee is benefiting from his playstyle quite a bit here. Weegee getting best pattern on the chain chomp, I believe.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter a whole lot. This is just about a couple seconds. And actually, it's not even... It kind of only sucks for the far most right pattern, because for the middle pattern, you can actually hold the guy like a significantly long time to where it's almost even to the best RNG. Only just a little bit slower. But the right is still going to be like a second and a half slower, even if you hold it like as long as you possibly can.
Weegee suffering a bit of a bonk there. That'll be a small time loss on his part. EquivocalGenius also getting great RNG here on Pinna Park, although, as you stated correctly, it doesn't matter all that much. What matters more is execution, getting the chomp into the bath with a well-timed grab of the chain. Both of them successfully pulling that off. An RNG component of this game that has a much greater impact than Pinna 4 is Pinna 5, which Weegee is heading into right now. Quick movement to the Yoshi skip area. Hopefully he doesn't encounter too many complications getting into the loading zone.
No, super clean.
Super clean. Alright, let's see how this RNG plays out. The RNG in this level has to do with the movement and placement of the Piantas. With good placement, they will allow you to talk to them faster and get to the ending platform faster.
Ooh, this is good. I think
Yeah.
you can make that.
A bit of a sketchy angle.
Oh,
Oh, he's looking good, and he's in position for the best possible RNG.
Nice. Good word from Weegee.
Ramel cycle.
Yeah, he actually had to do a very small adjustment there, because when he ground pounded on the Pianta, he wasn't in like the perfect spot to just talk to him, but he had like a super good small input to get into the right spot.
Yes,
because otherwise
perfect execution.
The guy was going to throw him in not the right direction, and that would have been very bad. Let's see if Genius can get some good RNG too.
Very surprised to see Ramon. Oh no! That's a bit of a tragedy for Genius. That is the last possible platform where that can happen. Well, actually, technically not. It can happen at the last one, but that is not the time loss that you wish to see at this stage in the race. Just a slight mistake when mashing there can lead to that outcome. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's one of the unfortunate consequences of having to go for Ramel. If you talk to that guy from just far enough away, you won't get the, or you have to get like a good mash to make it to the next platform. And if you don't get a good mash, what happens to Genius would happen to you.
While Genius sort of figures the rest of this stage out, Weegee's having a bit of trouble completing Pinna 6. He does fairly well though. He essentially ties world record, which also got a 209 on this stage.
It's okay. It's the classic SMS player get Ramel cycle and then mess up Pinna 6. It's just how the system works. And if you get a good Pinna 6 after getting early cycle, then you're just the greatest at this video game. I don't know what else to tell you.
You really are. Genius will attempt to best a 209 here, sort of regain some of the lost time. Starts off by getting a difficult bridge water slide to get. There's a bit, the setup is harder to do for the bridge water slide in Bianco 6 because you start from a different point. He nails it there though. Weegee with a bit of trouble on
That was
Shadow Mario.
weird.
Yeah.
I think his hover actually killed him there. Because he didn't kill him as he jumped over the thing, and the only water that hit him afterwards was the roll out hover that he did.
Yeah,
So
not routine for Weegee, but certainly not worst case scenario. He will lose a bit of time, but still early.
This might also be a 209 from Genius. No. Oh,
Ooh,
maybe.
Backflip.
Oh, oh. The 208. He had him though.
Yeah, had a bit of a stumble at the end there. We'll see how Weegee fares in Honey Skip. One of the more precise tricks in the game. It looks like he's got it here.
I think he's got it.
This trick usually goes according to plan, but is a very costly time loss if missed. Weegee does the trick pretty much flawlessly. Pinna 1. A great example of the oftentimes sketchy mechanics of Super Mario Sunshine.
Very, very interesting mechanics. Yeah, there's these rockets that they gotta shoot at Mecha Bowser. And it really sucks because if you miss one of the shots or you don't get a regrab, you're instantly losing 4 seconds.
Wow, Genius with a great kill on Shadow Mario there.
Yeah, Genius is getting the quick kill. He pretty much did a rollout spam spray right under Shadow Mario.
That was a very quick kill.
Saved about a second. It's pretty good.
He saved quite a bit on Weegee there because Weegee took a tumble.
True, very true.
Weegee makes the M shot.
Unfortunately, Weegee did not get the rocket regrab, so even though he didn't ever miss a rocket on Mecha Bowser, he still could have gotten one more rocket. But that's all good. We'll see how Genius does Honey Skip. Oh my god. He just sidestepped right into that spot.
Yes, that was very quick.
He slid right into those DMs.
A very hasty last 2 minutes from Genius. If he keeps that up, he could have a chance here, provided Weegee makes a few mistakes.
Yeah, Weegee's definitely on a good run. The early cycle definitely did not help Genius's case right now, but he's still going. He's playing the video game just like the rest of us.
Playing the video game very well. Pinna Park is a very notoriously difficult stage. Pinna 2 doesn't really fit into this description, given that it is one of the more straightforward secrets in the game. But Pinna 1, as Genius is getting ready to complete here, Pinna 3, Pinna 4, and EYG are all notoriously bad run killers. We'll see how these players fare here.
Yeah, when you really look at Pinna, like, there's a lot of hard shines in Pinna, but the issue with Pinna is if you make a small mistake, you're losing minimum 5 seconds, I think.
Yes.
Like, because if you miss, like, one cycle on Pinna 4, you're losing 10 seconds. You miss a shot on Mecha Bowser, you're losing 5 seconds. If you fall down in Pinna 3, you're losing, like, probably about 10 seconds. Like, it's a really unbalanced level. Ooh, Genius missing a shot there. I don't know if he's hit him 3 times or not. No, I don't think so. He needs that rocket.
Yeah, he's going for... fortunately.
Oh, no, he needs another one? Well, that was unfortunate.
Yes, Genius with a bit of trouble there on Mecha Bowser. Weegee will head into, again, one of the more movement-intensive shines in this game. This shine, in fact, had a recent strat development in the past few months. I don't believe he'll go for it here because it's very risky. But... looks like he's going for the Y turn strat here. Right into the coin. Beautifully executed. We'll go for standard strats here.
Gonna execute the baby movement. Yep. We call that the baby strat because of the order you press the buttons in. Very cute acronym. Oh, that was weird.
A bit of a botched momentum spin by Weegee there.
I think what happened there is Weegee didn't get a spin jump again, and so because of that, he hit
yeah.
the boat. Oh my god, that's unfortunate.
He takes a fall. That particular fall costing him about 20-25 seconds, I would estimate. That is very costly.
Not nearly that much. That's
not
probably
nearly
like
that
10,
much.
15. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know if Weegee could have avoided that, but I think if he was holding neutral, he wouldn't have bonked. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's how that situation would have worked.
Yeah, I do believe holding up might have an effect.
Because if he was holding nothing, then he wouldn't have had any momentum coming out of that, and he probably wouldn't have bonked. Because he was holding up, he probably bonked into the mecha or the Koopa, and that's what sent him down.
Genius did a bit of a spin into the shine there, cost him perhaps a second.
Yes, very, very cool, Genius. Very cool.
One of the few things that can go wrong during Pinna 2. Pinna 4. Messing up here can be costly, as this shine is dependent on a cycle. Player will have to kill the first turtle, and then stomp on the rest of the 4.
This is pretty good. I think he got that one.
I do believe he got it.
We don't have game audio, so I can't be 100%, but I'm pretty sure he got it.
One cycle Pinna 4 is very precise.
Yeah, especially the setup Weegee did. That's the fastest way we know how to do this currently. And it's really precise because you have to get a ground pound after getting hit by the turtles, which isn't the most complicated thing, but sometimes weird stuff can happen, and it's still a tight window to get the ground pound on the last guy. That's why I didn't know if Weegee hit him or not, because
Genius had a very solid Pinna 3 here. He got the momentum spin that Weegee messed up pretty much perfectly. He executed the rest of the shine very well. Very few mistakes there. That should be a boost in confidence for him going into Pinna 4, one of the harder shines in Pinna. One of the more gimmicky shines as well.
Weegee gonna do EYG right now. Pretty much we're gonna skip Pinna 5 by doing a bunch of complicated things to get to the loading zone of Pinna 6. Getting coconut, the worst fruit, unfortunately, but that's okay. That was some pretty decent execution.
Could have been slightly faster, but definitely acceptable for a race.
He's got a party. He's got 4 stews following him right now.
He's got the whole gang on him right now. He's gonna have to get.
Now he's only got 3.
Oh.
One of the guys didn't want to join the party.
Having extra stews there could.
Wait.
He's not going to clip.
Sprayed a little early there. We'll see if Weegee can back this up.
Looks like having 2 stews here won't fare him so bad after all.
No, he's good. He's good.
Yes, he backed that up very well. Thank you to circumstance. He's very lucky to have had 3 stews on his tail. Turbulent EYG for Weegee gets it done nonetheless.
While we were doing that, Genius got a 1 cycle, I believe. So that's cool.
Well done by him. His Pinna hasn't been too bad outside of Pinna 1. But it's not over yet. He still has to do EYG. Perhaps the toughest trick at a very tough level.
OTTTM? Is that right? Sure, we'll go with that.
I do believe that's right. But regardless of what it's called, he performed it very well there. He dove right onto the block, didn't have to ground pound. The fastest way of doing that.
This is a solid Pinna time from Weegee. 37, or he's gonna get a 38, 39, or 40. That's pretty good. Oh, Genius also got coconut. His coconut went pretty far. Like that's probably better than the coconut not going anywhere. So
Yeah, definitely not worst case scenario for Genius there, even though it is a minor time loss. The most important thing, as we learned from Weegee here, is the clip. So we'll see how that goes for him. He is set up pretty well for it right now. He's just got to get both of these stews on his back. Looks like he's successfully done so. He has to sort of spin around to get them at a good distance from each other. Weegee goes for the quick kill here. Successful. Genius with a pretty clean EYG. Both of these players, of course, encountering minor time losses here, but as for how this race goes, this is perfectly acceptable for both of them. They're both happy with these EYGs here.
No soft locks. That's what you like to see.
Yes.
Weegee is done with Pinna. He will be going to Rico now.
Doesn't get optimal movement there, but very well nonetheless. With a well-timed and place dive onto that second platform there that sort of serves as an island, you can buffer a spin jump dive right onto the dock. Weegee successfully did that trick in his PB.
Shout out to SSB Reed for the host. But yeah, Genius is only about a minute and a half behind. So even despite a minute and a half. So despite everything, he's still not that far behind Weegee.
Yeah, he's not that far behind, especially considering how good of a run Weegee has built himself up to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Blooper fights are fairly straightforward, are they not?
You grab you grab his mouth, and then you release his mouth at the right time. That's all there is to it. This one's even like less complicated than the one in Rico 5 because there's kind of like a trick to spray him early in Rico 5, but
Genius only gets one spam spray on Shadow Mario, unfortunately not enough for the quick kill, but he is able to very quickly back that up with just a second or so longer of spraying.
yeah.
Genius is out of Pinna.
Yep, we're all in Rico having a good time. The good thing about Rico, no RNG. It is all player skill dependent.
Yes.
Not to mention, Rico execution is not exactly the hardest thing ever, or not the easiest thing ever, but it's definitely not like super difficult movement. So it's very easy to play within, 10, 12 seconds of your SOB if you're playing really well that day.
It's very difficult playing within 10 seconds of SB, to be clear.
Yes, SB, very fast player. Playing within 10 seconds of him, very tough. Anyways, Rico 2, we're not going to use bloopers. Bloopers are slow, like Katsuna. Anyways.
Oh. Weegee, though, is not slow. He does that movement pretty well here.
I think Weegee's doing the my strat to get on top. Very clean execution.
Rico may not be one of the most difficult stages to complete, but one thing to note about Rico is that time losses here are usually very grave. Weegee with a bit of a stumble there on the movement, he has to sort of work his way up the ledge there. But if one mistake in Rico 3 getting to the crane could be a 5 to 15 second time loss, missing the opening movement in Rico 4 could be a very costly time loss because you have to do backup wall kicks in a completely different set of towers. Dying in Rico 4, of course, a big time loss. Falling down from the beam of Rico 5 could be an easy 20 seconds. Missed coins in Rico 6 could be, 10 to 15. So this stage isn't particularly hard to do right, but mistakes are very costly here in Rico Harbor. Weegee heading into Rico 3 here.
Yeah. I like Weegee's movement at the start of Rico 3.
Yes, it's very unique.
Oh, I don't like that missed spin jump, but that's besides the point.
A common theme, perhaps, in his run so far.
Yeah, Weegee might need a new controller soon. This is not pretty.
He gets into the crane though. I mean into the tower without a ton of difficulty. Genius here will head into Rico 2. Hope for a good IL here. Weegee heading into Rico 4, which is one of the more difficult secrets of the game.
We'll see if Genius can beat Weegee's 20, which, as long as he got that checkpoint, he should be on track for. Oh, he did not get the checkpoint! Oh, no.
As I said, mistakes here can be very costly.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing. He can back that up, but that's still going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. That was about 13 seconds, about.
Yeah, he was gonna get an 18, but he was just shy of the checkpoint.
Definitely not something you want to see here in Rico 2. Ooh, Weegee with a bad angle on a double jump dive there. Unfortunately, that means he's going to have to settle for yellow cycle, which is suboptimal here.
Suboptimal in 2019 at this point. It's okay. That's a way better option than trying to do some other option and potentially taking a death. So that's a good call on Weegee.
Yes, it is a good call. Genius here hopefully won't run into too much trouble on the crane. Hopefully we'll be able to perform this faster than Weegee looks like he's on track to. And he does. A bit of a tight, a very tight actually hover there. That takes us away from disaster, but he makes it.
That was some cute movement after he got up the grate. He did a Y turn into a hover dive rollout. So
yeah. Ooh, Weegee with a slightly suboptimal pattern there, but that is all right. He makes it without major disruption. Another straightforward blooper fight. Genius will take his shot at Rico 4 here, hopefully making blue cycle, which will save him time over Weegee.
Genius has got to shoot a shot, you know?
Yes, he does.
If that season. Oh, those are not.
Ooh.
Oh, the wind?
Ooh.
Nice.
Close call there by Genius. Makes it into the tower. Weegee with a quick shine grab as Genius traverses his way through the secret.
This is interesting. Is this still the Spyro strats? This is not Spyro strats. It's pretty close though.
Pretty close, but regardless, it does make it. He gets the blue cycle. A decent Rico from Weegee so far. As with the rest of his run. He's got this is a great performance from him. It must raise his confidence quite a bit, especially considering how his last race went against you.
Yes. Yeah, we just playing really solid.
He's definitely redeeming himself after that one. Very, very light on the major mistakes here from Weegee. Genius also holding it together a bit. He did suffer from a death and a bit of a sketchy Bianco too, but he's holding it together. A 32 from Weegee. The optimal time is a 33.
That was really a 32.
Yeah, it was a 32, unfortunately. Shouldn't be too bad for him. Probably not too unhappy with that. Heading into probably the most straightforward shine in the game, Rico 7. A dive, a rollout, walk forward and spray.
Is this a 47? Pretty sure this is a 47.
Could be. We'll have to see. 47 would be a very good showing from Weegee. He still makes it miraculously. That is very difficult to back up.
Yeah, Weegee's spacing was just slightly off there. But that was like a good reaction for him to do those spam sprays, and he clutched out the 47.
Yes, he did, with a well-timed reaction to a miscalculation on that level. He will be heading into Bianco 6 now, which is one of the more infamous shines in the game. It is the site of the death of the lone death in our current world record of 114.40, performed by Nindide. Weegee hoping, of course, to avoid that here. Genius going for a different route than Weegee did on Rico 6 here. He's going for a bit of an easier route on this shine. The optimal time for Rico 6 using this route is a 31. We'll see how he matches up in comparison to that here. Looks like he's got it. He's got a 31. Still a second slower than Weegee, but still good for the route he does. Oh, Weegee with a bonk on the wood, heading towards the secret.
Bonks in Bianco 6 are never good because they either mess up your water slides, which takes a lot of time to accelerate again, or it's hard to start up a water slide in the position that you bonked, and then it's just all sorts of bad.
That bridge is very difficult to traverse. One of the underrated points in this game in terms of movement difficulty.
Oop, that was cute. I saw that one coming. Weegee rolled out onto the moving thing right there to get another dive to make his spacing to the block.
Luckily, he only clipped it. It didn't set him back or knock him off the stage or anything like that.
Should see... Yep.
Nice GWK advanced strategies here from...
Oh!
He takes one of the most costly deaths one could take in this run from the top of Bianco 6.
Wow.
Wow.
He even tried super hard to save it. The only reason he couldn't save it was because the platform was moving away from him. And so because of the way this game works, you can't grab a platform that's moving away from you. Or you can't ledge grab a platform that's moving away from you. So that's unfortunate. He almost had it. That was a really good secret otherwise, but his spacing was, or I guess more of his angle on the rollout was just slightly off.
Man. What a tough situation there for Weegee as he makes his way for the second time through the secret. That could potentially have implications for points, as that does dock him about a minute in comparison to
That
Genius.
could affect the race. Genius isn't that far behind now. I think this is roughly a minute? Not quite a minute.
Somewhere around there.
It's not over a minute, I'm pretty sure.
A big amount nonetheless.
Unless Genius takes the same day. Oh!
Ooh.
That's my beef. I'll take that one. That's on my hands.
The commentator's curse strikes in Bianco 6 today. Oh. Fortunately not quite as costly of a death as the one that Weegee took, but certainly not what Genius wants to see. He was definitely hoping to capitalize a bit more off of that mishap on Weegee's part. Bianco 6. A very turbulent stage for these two runners here today. Weegee, however, is past that. He's heading into the Serena unlock, which he needs Yoshi for. A clean Shadow Mario fight he has there. Very
wow,
good
that would have
movement.
been super good if the bandana just went to Yoshi.
Yes, that was the one slight time loss there. He does make it into Serena, though. Genius is now past Bianco 6 as well. Alright, Manta. A very interesting combination between glitchy mechanics, RNG, and skill.
That was a pretty good way to form it. But yeah, the way Manta splits and moves is random. But you can still like play better on Manta by like trying to follow the the ones that break off and go off in weird directions, or just like not getting hit by Manta because that loses a bunch of time. But yeah, we're gonna see how Weegee's Manta looks. That is a pretty good initial split.
Yes, of course. Looks like he's setting himself up well here. Having a bit of trouble with two bigger Mantas that sort of went astray there, but should be able to take care of these bigger ones here fairly quickly, as he does. A decent first fate. Genius makes it down the pipe, and he will be attempting Manta here shortly as well. What players will usually do when they're trying to complete Manta competitively, rather, is sort of circle around the pool and take care of the Mantas as they see them. That has sort of,
Manta.
yes, a competitive Manta. The IL leaderboards are very, very tightly contested here in the Super Mario Sunshine community.
That was definitely not a bad Manta from Weegee. That was either a high 240 or somewhere in the low 250s, I think.
Yeah, it was decent. We'll be going for the quick shine grab here, which involves a hover slide into a double jump dive into the shine.
Ooh, that's a very early initial spray from Genius. Normally you wait until the Manta starts like kind of moving toward like a straight direction. The Manta was still turning there. But this is not bad.
Yes, definitely not looking bad so far. Ooh, takes a bit of a hit. Takes another hit.
Wow, that was the last one. That was actually pretty good if he had not gotten hit.
Yeah, that was still pretty decent. Ran out of water there a little bit. Lost like half a second. But he is back spraying these Mantas after a quick stop in the fountain. Cool.
Weegee having a trub.
Okay, having a little bit of trouble climbing the tower. This secret, one of the more notorious secrets in this game, definitely a big problem for new players and experienced players alike. Going fairly routine for Weegee though so far. Taking care of two tough spin jump dives.
Oh, that was close. He did a dive on the block to cancel all his momentum, but he almost fell off. And that was a good momentum spin from Weegee. Very nice.
Well done. Except for the entry, of course.
Oh yeah.
The secret itself, pretty good.
So that means Genius probably about a minute 10 behind.
Minute and 10 behind. Definitely a challenge, an uphill battle, but doable. Anything can happen. It isn't over until it's over. We'll see how these Serenas go for these two players here. Weegee entering a straightforward movement-based shine here, Serena 3. He will be transporting a banana up 3 flights of stairs without using the stairs. He will be wall kicking, much like how Genius did there.
Unless he's a real one. Nope, Weegee ain't real. Disappointing.
Disappointing. Not taking notes from the 79 Shines world record here on Serena 3.
Disappointing.
Fairly clean nonetheless for the banana strat. Genius also having a pretty decent Serena 2 so far. Plus, he nailed the entry, which sets him ahead of Weegee in this particular segment. Gets the ending movement down well, and he's done with Serena 2. Good performance from EquivocalGenius on Serena 2. It's not often in this game that you see a big skip completed very easily, but Casino Skip is one of them. It's a very useful skip. Saves about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I'd say, of gameplay, perhaps more. And it is extraordinarily easy.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
Depends on how good you are at tile flipping. It's not the funnest thing in the world.
If you think rockets in Pinna 1 are a glitchy mechanic,
Yeah.
head to the casino in Serena 4.
Yeah. Weegee with the nice hole-in-one. Genius with the bonk.
Bit of a bonk. Shouldn't set him back too far here. Weegee with some quick strats here. Ooh, Genius misses the shine a little bit. 2 minor time losses here on Serena 3 for Genius. But he's alright. Holding it together, composing himself through Serena so far.
Yeah, difference is about 1 minute and 20 seconds right now. So it's definitely not out of the question for Genius to come back. That actually means Genius shouldn't be on that bad of a pace for his personal record.
Yes,
right?
He's probably doing alright here. He's just got to hold on to his marks. Hopefully get a good showing out of here. Something to bring his confidence up. Set him up for future personal bests. Now, Weegee heading to King Boo here.
Everyone's favorite level.
Everyone's favorite level. RNG at the end of a run. Those two things go together very, very well.
I think Weegee's roughly on low 116 pace, depending on how good his King Boo RNG is.
Even with the death?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he did take a death. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, with good King Boo RNG, he should get like a low 101 here, which is, if he has a good Noki, that's gonna be a low 116.
Wow. A really, really impressive showing from Weegee thus far in this race. And Genius at that. Both of these runners have played very well so far. See how this RNG affects Weegee here. It doesn't look too bad so far. RNG can affect these players in the form of extra cycles, which will be anything other than fruit, aside from immediately after fruit is just rolled on the gigantic casino slot machine there.
Yeah, you want King Boo to give you fruit, not fruit, fruit, not fruit, fruit. Because King Boo can't give you fruit multiple times in a row, so you need that break in between. But if you get anything other than fruit, after, like, Weegee's about to do this cycle, if he doesn't get fruit here, then he can cancel the cycle. But no, Weegee got perfect RNG.
Well done, and
at least on cycles. I don't know how his pepper and stuff RNG was, but
well, that last cycle's fruit placement was definitely pretty good.
yeah, that wasn't gonna grab the shine.
He will definitely take that King Boo for this race. Good RNG, despite the slight time losses here and there.
Yeah, we have Serena 6 coming up. This level is very not fun on every version of the game, but it's very not fun on the Japanese version of the game because you have to clean up all the goop, pretty much. And sometimes even if you clean the goop, it won't actually be cleaned because this game is very good and fair.
Yes,
Weegee with the self-pepper! Oh my god, that's not Weegee. Genius with the self-pepper. That doesn't happen very often.
Does not happen very often. Very interesting stuff happening on the right side of the screen here. Weegee heading his way down the beach, looking pretty good so far, actually. Taking care of all this goop.
I think Genius also got perfect RNG. No extras.
Good RNG from both players. A 222 is pretty good, pretty impressive from Weegee.
What did you say, a 222?
222.
That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, that is very good.
I would kill for a 222.
Yeah. He made his way through that beach very well, spraying everything in his path. Fairly straightforward Serenas from both of these players. There have been minor time losses at the hands of both players, but so far, they're both playing pretty good. Both had good RNG, good showings in the secret.
Was Weegee's only real mistake messing with Serena too?
Potentially, yeah. That's the only one I can remember.
Good 3, good 4,
Played
good
this
5,
very
good
well.
6.
Yes. A well-played match.
Ooh!
Wow.
That was a good kill.
A great kill by Weegee on Serena 7. The second to last Shadow Mario shine of this game. EquivocalGenius making his way up the beach as well. Taking a slightly different route, going a little bit farther left than most players do. Going through the middle here before he heads right.
I don't know how I feel about this, but it's working out for him pretty well.
Yeah,
Like this
probably a little slower, but
this should probably be like a 2 something. 215.
yeah,
That's pretty
nothing
good.
to complain about. Pretty good. Let's see how Weegee does in this shine. Noki 1, a very movement-intensive shine that also has a little bit to do with cycles. With perfectly optimal movement, a player can reach what is referred to as first cycle.
That was super good.
Yeah, he has undoubtedly made the first cycle here.
Yeah, he probably cleared that by like a 1.5 seconds or something. That was ridiculous.
Very impressive. Good Noki 1 from Weegee. Great movement, as has been the case for the vast majority of this run. On his part, and even on Genius's part, he has played very well as well. He's about to conclude his journey through Serena Beach here with a kill on Shadow Mario. Very good kill, using a fairly easy, straightforward strat. He will be heading to Noki.
So Katsena, there's 3 blooper fights in this game, right? We're about to do the 3rd one.
Well, you might think, but fortunately, there exists a
Thank
clip.
God, I could never beat Blooper. I always had so much trouble with him as a kid.
Blooper is definitely one of the harder aspects of this game. We all have memories as a child, stuck on Blooper for hours. Weegee takes a bonk.
Weegee going too fast there. You gotta slow down, big guy.
Skipped, but he still manages to find hardship on Noki 2. He will use this spring here. He will dive into it very cleanly with an impeccable angle, flip through the wall with a very well-timed B press. Oh, that wasn't well-timed, but he makes it a shine nonetheless. A spotty Noki 2 from Weegee. Ooh, Genius takes a bit of a bonk from a blob of goop.
The meatball.
Meatball. Pink meatball. Raw meatball.
Don't eat those, kids. Those are bad.
Those got salmonella. It's alright, though. Oh, that was a clutch bomb. He very well could have missed that, costing him a few seconds, but barely. Yeah.
Genius knows. Genius knows.
Genius knows what he's doing. He is a god.
Yeah.
Noki 3. It's
you gotta float around. You wanna hover as little as possible. Oh,
ooh, he misses a coin. The rare coin miss on Noki 3. I can't remember the last time I've seen that.
I did that pretty recently, actually.
Unfortunate, but not much of a blemish on his really actually good performance so far during this race. Genius heads his way up the cliff en route to skip Blooper. Again, another great angle there. Doesn't perform a dive, but still very well executed by EquivocalGenius there. Bit of trouble on the last angle there, but he's got that shine out of the way, no problem. On to harder things in Noki. After a bit of Noki 2 and 3, Weegee is heading into Noki 4, which contains the Eel boss.
What is that? That looked so extra. I don't even know how I feel about that. Like, that might have been faster, but also, like, he had to do so many more button presses.
Speaking of extra, Weegee is at it with the upward spam sprays that famously save a couple frames in the task.
Something like that. I don't know, Weegee spam spray is kind of fast.
Yes, he does. He does that very optimally.
Weegee told me it saved time, and I was like, I trust Weegee, so I started doing it too.
Good on him. Encouraging the saving of frames. He's gonna start the eel fight here. Gets 3 teeth cleaned off very quickly. Very impressive hover at the start there. He's gonna get 6 tooth, no problem. With time to spare, that was very quick. Impressive stuff from Weegee so far. Wow. Oh, I
took
cannot
air
explain
damage?
that. Wow.
Oh,
That was
my
astonishing.
I think he took air damage.
Wow. I can't believe that happened. There was nothing there that hinted to me that was happened.
Yeah, it had to be air damage. I didn't get a good glimpse of it, but that's the only thing.
Sheer chance. Strikes at Weegee here, costing him around 20 seconds on Noki 4. Very unlucky.
Yeah, I think the way that happened was Weegee's like timer is based on if he does the fastest eel. And since he only got one part of the fastest eel, which I'll explain in a second, his air timer was messed up. But basically for like the fastest eel, you want to be like almost inside his mouth when he starts to like eat you, because there's like a small animation where he starts to spin if you're not like in his mouth. Very complicated, but like if you want to be as far into his mouth as possible to save like 2 seconds each time he does it. But yeah, since Weegee messed up one of those, his air time was off, so...
Such a slight mistake, and yet so costly for Weegee. Genius now descending into Eely Mouth's mouth. Also gets quick cleans on the teeth. He will probably settle for 5 tooth here, as that is what most newer players do.
Yeah, he messed up on, I think, the first... Actually, yeah, the first tooth he didn't clean off completely, so... He unfortunately was already at a time deficit at that point.
Thank you for the subscription, Trojan Caleb.
Hog. But Genius hits the cutscene skip, doing better than Weegee. Good job, Genius.
Hits it very well. 5 tooth with cutscene skip is definitely faster than a 6 tooth without a cutscene skip. So Genius will save time to Weegee on this segment, as Weegee completes the second Piantissimo auto-scroller in this run.
Genius is still 1:40 behind.
Wow. That mostly has to do with Weegee's movement in this run. His movement has been very, very advanced.
Yeah, I don't know how far Genius was behind leaving Serena, but I think at some point in Serena he was like 1:20 behind, now he's 1:40, like... That's not bad. I mean, that should mean Genius is still on 1:17 pace. Or... barely.
Perhaps.
Weegee doing ropes. The strat is somewhat fun, somewhat not fun.
Definitely not fun to mess up, but...
Yeah.
It's quick movement,
Ooh.
high APM. A lot of players love that. Weegee probably amongst them. He will be going for green cycle here, the fastest cycle to be completed in Noki 6. Ooh, well, actually, nothing went wrong there.
That was sketch. Oh my god, he was too fast!
too quick.
Wow.
Not often you see somebody go too quick on Noki 6. That was just unfortunate. A combination of that, just slight mistimings and mechanics in this game. Hitboxes just being out of whack a little bit. Coming to bite Weegee there.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, he goes for the swag strat. That has implications for points. That,
You know, it's still not over. Like
it's
that's a pretty
not
big
over.
time loss.
Yeah. He was going for a very crazy IL strat there at the end. If he would have made that, that would have been a very, very hype moment. But unfortunately, he takes the deep plunge into the abyss. Ooh, he almost falls off there with a bad wall kick. Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm asking the same question. He's having a lot of difficulty here. A lot. Wow.
Genius doing ropes also.
Yes, doing them well so far. It looks like he's getting into
god,
the...
Weegee, please.
Wow.
Just get the shine. Oh my
He
god.
gets the shine. Oh, that was something. That was one of the more interesting shines done by a world record contender in a GSA race so far. That was a show. That was crazy. Gotta hand it to him. He went for the crazy strat. He knew he had the opportunity. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him, but
That did narrow the margin quite a bit because Genius is less than a minute behind now, roughly about 45 seconds, if that.
yeah, there isn't much of this run left. It's just this and Corona, but he does have a chance. He does have a chance. The possibility is out there until the moment Weegee, or anybody else for that matter, ground pounds the last Bowser platform. Weegee doing a good job during Noki 7 with the quick kill. Let's see if Genius can match his skill here.
Ooh, going a little late. Still gets him before he goes up.
He avoids disaster there. Not optimal, but not too bad, as Weegee makes his way into the final stage of the game, Corona Mountain. Only one shine to be obtained here. He's going for fast Corona. Very, very precise set of movements required to make this cycle. Looks good so far.
Very nice.
Well done by Weegee. He's on to Speedboat. One of the harder looking, especially with experience behind the viewer, this looks tough, but it's actually one of the less intimidating. Oh, that was a very close dive. Definitely putting the viewers on edge there with that one. Genius attempting to make the normal cycle here in Corona, attempting to finish this one out.
Yeah, Genius still wants to finish out strong because he still wants to get as many points out of this as possible, or at the very least prevent Weegee from getting as many points as possible.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see how this impacts the points game. Weegee, if he's able to secure the victory here after this Bowser fight, will be second in points, but by what margin is the question after diminishing quite a bit of his lead in Noki 6. Ooh, Genius. Oh, he barely makes it into the loading zone after a bit of trouble on the rocket storage. Weegee with 2 platforms left. Seconds from a victory here. At 117 at that, with all that has gone on this run, Weegee will close out the run, secure the victory with a 117.31. A phenomenal performance by Weegee.
Very nice by Weegee. Taking the W.
Genius, of course, looking for a 118 here. which would be a great race performance, of course. He has to compete from also a very, very good race performance here, but as a standalone effort, 118s in races are very good. Gets dealt a bad hand by RNG there. He should still be okay. Oh, he gets a bad angle. Barely saves it.
That was not a good ground pound.
That was
That was
crazy.
very not a good ground pound. I would not advise doing that.
Oh. 118.24. Nice job to EquivocalGenius. Nice job to Weegee. Paperario, I believe that was a very entertaining race.
Yeah, that was a good race. Genius, unfortunately, will be out right now. He took 3 Ls, but still very close. I think we have Weegee here. I hear some game audio. Never mind, Weegee's no longer here.
Hello.
Genius is here though. How's it going, bud?
Okay.
Pretty good run. You know, a minute off of. You know, I mean, it could have been worse. You know,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not the W you wanted, but.
No, I lost a lot of time in Pianta 5, so.
Oh yeah, that did happen. This
like,
makes a lot more sense now.
Something like 35 seconds.
More than that, right? Oh wait, no. Maybe.
Well, if I got him, like if I got him all, it would have been. But I lost a minute on my gold there.
We also do have Weegee here. Weegee, how are you feeling right now?
Not too bad. I'm happy with the win, but the run I'm not really happy with the run because of my depth.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that bad up until Noki 6. Just being too fast for Green Cycle. This man is too good at this video game, everyone.
Is my mic messing up or something?
It's rather loud, but aside from that, I don't believe there are any problems.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
I have a question for both of you. So, Weegee, a roller coaster of a run, a lot of lows, a lot of highs. Same thing with you, Genius. A lot of moments where you shine during that run, also a lot of moments that could have gone a lot better. Are you happy with your times at the end with a 117 and a 118?
It's an alright time, I guess. I'm not upset with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that mad about getting a 117 because that's roughly what I expect nowadays with my no resets. But I don't know. I keep on dying in secrets because I get nervous. But yeah, I'll take it. Besides the secrets, I'm pretty happy with how I played. Would have been like a mid 115 probably.
Yeah, it was really good.
Equivocal.
Go for it.
At the beginning of this year, you were a relative unknown to the speedrunning community, and despite the fact that you've taken a slight loss here against Weegee, your performances in this tournament have definitely opened people's eyes up to what you are capable of as a speedrunner. What do you feel like you have learned from competing in this tournament as part of Group B?
That I can barely get a 118. That's pretty much what I learned.
That's not true. But yeah, Genius, I think you had a good shot in this tournament. You were within a minute of all your opponents. I don't know how close you were.
Against J. Cole, I was like over 2 minutes. I had like a really bad run against J. Cole.
Well, you were a minute off of me and Weegee, so you know. Yeah. Either way, definitely not a bad showing from you. You guys should make sure to check Genius out. He is improving very fast and getting very good. Also check out Weegee, but he's less important. You know, he's not improving anymore.
I swear, all these people coming into the game are getting like good so quickly. Like Genius, like I remember. What was your PB after a month of playing? I remember I saw you got a 119. I was like, what?
Like, I'm not sure. I think after a month it was probably still a 123, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It took me 3 months to get 118, I think. Roughly.
But yeah, great stuff. More Sunshine content tomorrow. I think we're all good. Katsuna, it's been fun.
It has been fun. Very entertaining race.
Everyone, thanks for watching. More Sunshine to watch. Stay tuned. We'll see you all next time.
Shout out to the lurkers.